Welcome back to BookShortz, the channel where powerful books meet powerful minds in just minutes. Today, we're diving into a book that will completely shift the way you think about wealth, success, and financial freedom. It's not about how much, it's about how well you behave. This is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, a masterclass in why doing well with money has less to do with spreadsheets and more to do with your mindset. If you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or frustrated with your finances, this book could be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. So stick around, because this isn't just a summary. It's a shortcut to decades of financial wisdom. Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to BookShortz and hit that bell icon so you never miss life-changing insights from the world's best books. Let's get into it. Money isn't just about math. It's about behavior. That's the punch-in-the-gut truth Morgan Housel delivers in The Psychology of Money. You might know how to calculate interest or budget your income, but still find yourself trapped in poor financial decisions. Why? Because the biggest factor in financial success isn't knowledge, it's mindset. And that's where this book steps in. Housel doesn't just explain money, he explains us. He peels back the layers of psychology that drive how we think about saving, spending, and investing. What follows is a deep yet simple look into the most powerful force in wealth building: human behavior. At its core, The Psychology of Money teaches that doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you behave. This one idea flips traditional financial wisdom on its head. You could have a PhD in finance and still end up broke, and someone with no formal education might build a fortune. What separates them isn't intelligence, it's temperament. Let's begin with one of the most powerful stories Housel shares, the tale of Ronald Reed. He was a janitor. No one saw him as wealthy. He wore old flannel shirts and drove a used car. But when he passed away, he left behind an $8 million fortune. How? Through decades of patient saving and investing. Contrast this with someone like Richard Fosconi, a high-powered Merrill Lynch executive who filed for bankruptcy despite earning millions. This comparison sets the tone of the book. Wealth isn't always what you see, and appearances are often deceiving. This brings us to one of Housel's most important lessons. Wealth is what you don't see. When someone buys a new car, what you're seeing is the money they chose not to invest. Real wealth is hidden. It's savings. It's investments quietly compounding in the background. If you judge wealth based on visible signs, fancy clothes, houses, or cars, you'll misunderstand how wealth is built and maintained. Another powerful concept Housel introduces is the idea that saving is the gap between your ego and your income. A big salary means nothing if your spending rises with it. Many people don't have a savings problem. They have a lifestyle problem. They want to look rich instead of be rich. But wealth is built not through high income alone, but through restraint, through the quiet power of living below your means. And speaking of restraint, let's talk about luck and risk. These two invisible forces shape every financial outcome, yet most people either ignore them or misunderstand their role. Housel argues that luck plays a bigger role in success than we want to admit. Bill Gates is a prime example. Yes, he's brilliant. But he also happened to go to one of the only high schools in the world that had a computer club in the 1970s. That's luck. On the flip side, risk is what you don't see. The people who were just as smart but didn't make it. Acknowledging luck and risk doesn't diminish hard work. It just keeps you humble. That humility is critical in the world of money. Housel urges us to avoid extreme financial goals and instead pursue a sustainable path. For example, aiming for the absolute highest return might push you into risky behavior. A more moderate goal, one you can stick with for decades, is far more powerful. In finance, consistency beats brilliance. Time in the market beats timing the market, which leads us to the idea of compounding. We all understand compound interest on a surface level, but few of us emotionally grasp its power. Housel points out that Warren Buffett is not just a great investor. He's a consistent investor who started early. Buffett made over 80% of his net worth after his 65th birthday. That's the magic of compounding. Not just growing money, but letting it grow over long periods of time. The takeaway? Start early. Be patient. Stay invested. Housel also challenges us to rethink our goals. He says the ultimate goal of money is freedom. It's not about Ferraris or private jets. It's about control over your time. The ability to wake up and decide how to spend your day is the highest dividend money can pay. Yet too often, people trade that freedom for more income, more status, more things. They end up trapped in golden handcuffs, chasing a lifestyle that owns them. He also warns against the dangers of moving the goalpost. Humans are wired to adapt. Once you reach a goal, your brain quickly adjusts and sets a new one. That's why people who get rich often don't feel rich. Enough is never enough. The solution? Define what enough means for you. Set boundaries. Otherwise, you'll end up on a treadmill chasing something that always stays one step ahead. Another psychological trap Housel explores is our tendency to compare ourselves to others. Social media magnifies this. You see someone's vacation, car, or new house and feel inadequate. But everyone's playing a different game. Some are day trading. Some are saving for retirement. Some are in debt. Comparing yourself to them is like comparing a sprinter to a marathoner. Define your own game. Run your own race. Now let's look at the concept of tail events. In investing, a small number of days, decisions, or investments often account for the majority of returns. The same is true in life. A few key moments, both good and bad, shape your entire financial journey. That's why Housel says it's dangerous to judge outcomes in isolation. One great investment can make your year. One bad bet can wipe out a decade of gains. Planning for the unexpected is not pessimism. It's realism. This leads to another key point: room for error. Housel recommends building in a margin of safety in every financial plan. Don't assume everything will go right. Assume some things will go wrong. That buffer might be the difference between surviving a recession and losing everything. Financial success isn't about being right all the time. It's about staying in the game long enough for your strengths to compound. In the same spirit, Housel emphasizes the value of long-term thinking. Most people are obsessed with the next quarter or next year, but real wealth is built over decades. The market will always fluctuate. News headlines will always be dramatic. But if you can stay calm, stay invested, and stay focused on the long game, you'll come out ahead. Think in decades, not days. Housel also debunks the myth that there's one right way to manage money. He says personal finance is called personal for a reason. What works for one person might not work for another. Some people love real estate. Others prefer index funds. Some take risks. Others are ultra-conservative. What matters is that your strategy matches your personality. Your plan has to make sense to you, or you won't stick with it. Perhaps the most comforting message in the book is this: you don't need to be extraordinary to do well with money. You just need to be reasonable, patient, consistent, avoid big mistakes, save more than you spend, let your money grow. That's it. No genius required, just emotional discipline. To wrap it all up, the psychology of money is a powerful reminder that managing money isn't just a numbers game. It's a behavioral game. It's about how you think, how you react, and how you plan. It's about understanding yourself just as much as understanding the markets. Morgan Housel doesn't give you step-by-step formulas. He gives you wisdom. He gives you perspective. And most importantly, he gives you the mindset to make smarter decisions, not just with money, but with life. So whether you're a beginner trying to get a handle on your finances or an experienced investor seeking clarity, this book offers timeless insights that will change the way you think about wealth. Because in the end, money is not just about what you do. It's about how you think. And once you learn to think better, you'll start to live better too. This war is just beginning. Link in description.